Today we're replacing the two camshaft position sensors on a 7th generation Honda Accord, specifically of the year 2003. Should be the same across all 7th generations. First, there's an A and B. I'm gonna be honest, I do not know which one is A, which one is B. If you have a code, it'll usually tell you bank A or bank B. I'm not too sure, but I bought both of the sensors just to be safe. Better safe than sorry. Here's one of them. Right here. Here's the other. Right there. This thing right here. Let's show you where it's at. Right there. This is the EGR. It is right behind the EGR. One. And two. Right there. Okay. This is one of the old used camshaft position sensors. This is the one closest to the rear side of the engine. I just removed it. Let's take a look. Pretty gunky, dirty. Other than that, it's pretty hard to tell if it's malfunctioning. But when you look at the new one, that's what it should look like. I'm going to replace this, and I think I'm going to put everything back together, turn the engine on, and see if that changes anything, because I really don't want to have to remove that one. It's in a very tight location. I'd have to remove the EGR, and I don't want to do that because the EGR takes a while, and I might end up stripping that nut. So I'm going to try it. I'll update you. Okay, so I always try my best to not have to move too many things whenever I do these type of jobs. I was going to remove the EGR, but the next bolt I need to move is right there. Right there. And it's very hard to get to. I'm pretty sure there's a tool out there somewhere that would allow me to get into that tight corner. I actually have one of these pivots, but didn't want to get around there in that tight corner. That means I'd have to remove this whole thing. This is, I believe it's the air sensor. It's some type of sensor. It's connected to the air intake hose. I just unplugged this from the EGR, and I unplugged the wires from the sensors. I used a small ratchet, size 10 millimeter. Very small to get in there, just like this, to get the bolt off. And I finished it off once I was able to crack the bolt with a smaller little wrench. Once it was loose enough, I just went and did it with my fingers. I'm going to try to get the other one out, and I'll update you guys. Okay, so what I ended up doing was removing the bolts from here and here so that I could wiggle this more. I moved it out of the way as much as I could so that I could get to this bolt on the EGR, which I have just removed. Once I was basically able to wrap the socket on there, I used this mallet to bang it in and make sure it was secure. I didn't mess any of the tread up. It was on there on place before I started banging it. But now I'm able to access the camshaft position sensor. Bolts right there. I'm gonna just get in there and take it out. The EGR is back in place. I've put these bolts back on. I forgot to mention, I removed this hose. Where the heck? Okay. So it goes right here. I think it looks like it's. I'm trying to figure out form fits function. Just like that. Boom. Anyways, I'm gonna tighten it up, but I have the sensor in there. Once I removed this, it was way easier to get into there. It's not that hard. Awesome. Well, if you need to change your sensors, there you go. I'm troubleshooting and diagnosing my car right now. It has high idle, and there's also a bit of a rattling sound. I believe the timing belt might need to be changed, so I changed everything else up to that point. I've done all the labor myself, so I've saved myself some money. If it is the timing chain, then I will have to take it to a shop, because that is something that takes a lot of labor. Some people prefer removing the engine, some other people don't. But yep, there you go.